can VA reduce your rating if you get better? Yes, they can. So when you get a disability rating, they will categorize it either as static, meaning it's not predicted that it would get better, or they could put you in for a reevaluation in 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. That's usually the time that they assign. So you would be able to know if your disability was static or not if you get your ratings code sheet. I have a video on how to do that. I will link it here. So you can look that up and just see if my ratings are static or not. And if you get 100% temporary disability rating because you have surgery for a service-related condition, for instance, I'll use myself as an example. I've had numerous surgeries on my feet. And so each time I had a foot surgery, I put in for a temporary 100%. That was, I was eligible for that during the time of recovery from the foot surgery. And then once that eligibility ended, it's usually, I think, 2 months for a foot surgery, then they reevaluate you. So presumably the foot surgery would make your foot better. So if you had a disability rating for your feet, then they reevaluate your feet after the surgery to see, hey, did it make it better? And if so, then we're going to reduce your rating to be the proper rating for how disabled your feet are now. I will say, from experience again, when you have surgery, you have scars. It's just an unfortunate part of surgery, right? So if those scars are painful, you also will be evaluated for the scars, and you can get a rating for the scars from the surgery. So maybe your disability rating for the foot would go down, but then you would also get, potentially, if you have painful scars, you would get additional ratings for the scars from the surgery. So it's a bit of a trade-off. It's possible you could be reduced overall, but it's also possible you could end up with an increase depending on if the surgery was successful or if you have complications from the surgery. Did the surgery fix one foot problem, but now you have another foot problem? That kind of thing. Or while you're recovering from the surgery, again, foot surgery, I used a knee scooter to get around for a while. That caused knee problems. Or you're walking in a weird way because you're recovering, so now my back hurts. Like things tend to snowball when you have a surgery. So yes, potentially you could be reduced, but you also could end up with an increase just depending on how that goes. I am mostly of the opinion that I don't live in fear of a reduction or a reevaluation, because I feel that the ratings I have are proper, and I feel that it would stand up to a second evaluation or a second look if someone else was going to look at it. So when veterans come to me and they are worried, would this be reduced, or I'm scared to do this or that because VA might reduce, I always question them about, well, do you think that it's not proper? Like, do you think that your rating now is too high? And if not, if you think no, it's proper, then I don't think you have anything to worry about. Has that happened? Of course, because when bad things happen, people get online and just tell the world, right? And then we all get up in arms and we share it and it just explodes. So yes, it could happen. However, VA is also required to let you know if they're going to reduce your rating, and it's a proposal. They send you a proposal to reduce. And you have 30 days to go back to them and say, hey, no, I don't think that's correct, and I request a hearing for that. So then that stops the proceedings. They don't do any reduction until you have a hearing. At the time of this recording, those hearings, it's sometimes 6 months or more before you have that. So you have time then to gather medical evidence to show VA that no, your disability hasn't improved, or in fact, your disability has gotten worse. So you could end up, again, with a higher rating on the other side of that. So personally, I don't think there's anything to be afraid of. But I also respect if you have that fear and you don't want to do any more appeals or any more claims because you just want to make sure everything stays the same. That's your right. That's your choice. Well, I hope that was helpful. If you do have some appeals that you would like help with, that is something that I specialize in. I help veterans with appealing claims that have been denied service connection or service-connected conditions that have been not rated properly. To help you get the proper rating, to help you get the proper service connection, that is something that I work with veterans every day, all day on. And I would love to help you if that's something that you need help with. So you can apply to work with me at thevocalveteran.com. There's a short Google form that you fill out, and then we can have a conversation, do some emailing back and forth to see if it's a good fit for us to work together. Have a good day, y'all.